your name, sir?
My name's Larry Taylor.
And Larry, have you come to the Crater Diamonds very often?
Yes, I do. I come 4 times a year, couple weeks each trip.
Well, if you come that often, you must live close. Is that right?
No. I live 908 miles from here in West Virginia.
Wow, that's a long trip.
That's a long trip. And I used to work all day long and then travel all night, get here at 6 in the morning, and then work all day at the morning.
Wow.
And then I collapse.
Yes. Well, that's a lot of dedication. So, with all those trips, have you found any diamonds?
I have. It took about a year and a half or 6 trips to find my first one. And then after that, I'd found a couple for each trip. And in the past year and a half, I'm averaging 1 a day or 1 in every 20 buckets.
Wow, excellent.
Until this trip here, and I've been here 14 days and only found 1 diamond.
Oh.
So, yeah, that hurts my average. But it's, it's not so much the diamonds as it is the people. I have met so many people down here from all over the United States, and now we're friends. We get together and we go out to eat. We all talk to each other and find out when we're going to come together, and so we can just sit and start a new group.
Spend time with the guys.
Yes.
Well, I think a lot of people would think, if you're going there and everybody trying to get diamonds, it'd be a greedy thing and an elbowing each other out and fighting there. But I wouldn't like a place like that.
No, I don't either. And I have seen that, with especially during the springtime when they got the kids and crowded, and it's what is that, spring break?
Yes.
And it gets crowded and people, fighting for a little bit of space. But it's not all that bad.
But this really is the perfect time of year to come. Mid-November, a little cool this morning, beautiful weather this afternoon.
Oh, perfect. I mean, it warms up. You can be in a t-shirt and shorts. It's. I usually come around November, December. For a couple weeks.
So, what's your total? How many have you found?
I have 216 total.
216.
Yes.
Excellent. Very good.
85 being the largest, and I think 0.5. Half a point is the smallest.
Wow.
So,
well, that is a remarkable number of diamonds.
So they say. And only been 8 years and having that, I know people's been here for 20 and 30 years and only have 5 or less.
Right. Yes.
And I'm blessed. Because I have that many.
That's good.
So.
That's good. How did you ever first hear about it? How did you start coming?
I think I was watching TV a few years back. It must have been 20 or 25, and seen some little documentary on the Weather Channel or something that said the Crater Diamonds in Arkansas. And I said that I would like to go there one day. So it was 5 or 6 years, and we took a 2-week trip out west, family and I. And I said, when we're on our way back, I want to stop at the Crater Diamonds. And we did. We stopped, and I didn't know anything. I walked out and watched the process. And I walked around for the day and thought, well, I better go home and do some research. And then come back. So it took me another 10, 12 years to get back. After that. But I still really didn't know anything until I met some of the old timers that would actually, talk
Adopt
to you.
Kind of take you under their wing.
They see that you're wanting to work and you work hard at it, they'll help.
Yes. That's the way it was when I first came in 1978. Same kind of thing. I was digging the wrong stuff, and a guy said, after seeing me there a few days, sweating in the sun and working all the time, he said, how long are you going to be here? And I said, 7 weeks. And he said, well, in that case, pick up your stuff and come down with me. You're digging the wrong place, and I'll show you where to dig.
And that's the thing. People come in, and I'll help them. If I see they're working, I'll help them. Next thing you know, they're coming back.
Yes.
And then I don't like the ones that come over and ask you your opinion and where you're digging, and you go show them. 5 minutes later, you see them going somewhere else. they wasted my time
Right.
if they're not going to listen to me.
Yes.
So-
Right. You don't mind teaching if the student's willing to learn.
Yes, exactly. And another thing is, if they're willing to learn, they're going to do a little research before they come,
Yeah.
and they're going to stop up there at the CDC and watch the video
Right.
on how to center out.
Sure.
So, and if you ask them that and they say, yeah, they did that, then they're interested.
Yeah.
You just can't get the tourists, the one a day or 2 dayers come in, because they're not serious about it.
No. Right. Right.
So,
But, it's a great hobby. It's good for your health, fresh air, exercise.
I always did say I had to go back to work so I could rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work. I mean, you haul 20 buckets, what, 100 yards to 300 or 400 yards away, and you pull 6 and 7 buckets at a time, weighing 60, 70 pounds apiece. Yeah, and you lift them to carry them to the wagon, lift them in the wagon, lift them out of the wagon, then lift them in the water. So you're lifting a lot of weight.
You
during
are
the day.
handling a lot of weight.
A lot
Yeah.
of weight. So.
But really, the keys to finding a diamond are digging the right material and washing a lot of it.
Yes, and that's the thing about me coming as far as I do. I knew I had to process a lot more material,
Yeah.
and I'd go out there and I'd do 15, 20 buckets, and we'd take everything home
Oh.
because we were inefficient to what we were doing.
Right.
So the more efficient I got with the centering and everything, it's condensed down to now I'm only taking probably a 5-gallon bucket of just
Right.
centers
The center, sure.
instead of
The best
7
of
or 8.
And then you look through, and so really you find most of your diamonds at home.
I'd say 70% of mine are found at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And usually they're the small ones, 10 points or
Right.
less. You might luck into a 20 or 25 point,
Mm-hmm.
but very rarely. You usually find that on the flip.
Yeah.
But if your centers are heavy with a lot of white in it, sometimes they don't come to the bottom
Yes.
and be on top when you flip them over. So
Exactly.
it's the process, and you learn.
Yeah.
And I think now I'm finding more on the flip than I am at home.
Wow.
So
Man, good.
yeah.
Honestly, in my personal experience, I've only found one at the park. I found all my others home because I don't even look.
Yeah.
I just want to dig and wash as fast as I can. Just take it home. I thought I can look at it on a rainy day.
Yeah, well, and I've thought of that too, but it never fails. When I flip one out, I have to look.
Yeah,
I mean, I got to look.
You got to know.
And
Well,
then-
and have some reward for what you're doing. Have that encouragement,
Yes.
to keep going.
Yes, and if you did flip it out and find one out there, you say, well, it's working. The process is working.
Yeah.
And you
Dig
know
the right
what
spot.
area.
Right.
If you're working in an area for 2 or 3 days and you flip it out there, you know where it's at.
Yeah.
So if I don't, I used to put everything together and then go home and I'd say, now where'd that one come from?
Right.
So
right.
now I'll work 3 or 4 areas, but if I work 2 days in one area, I come back with the centers. I've got little totes, and I've got the North Wash Station, the Boot Station, the South Wash Station, Beatty's Hill. I got all those labeled. I'll put it in there, and then when I go home, I go through it. I know where it came from.
That's good.
And
Then you can learn. You know where you want to spend your time next time.
yes,
That'd
that's
be most fruitful.
yes, and that's why I do that, is to know where most of my diamonds are coming from.
Yeah.
And a lot of them come from Potato Island.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I personally haven't had much luck with the potatoes because you got to get rid of so many big rocks to get any gravel.
Well, but yeah, that's the way it used to be. Now it's just sand and silt,
Okay.
because the way they're plowing, the water's not moving; it's just sitting.
Okay.
So I went down there yesterday, and it took 3 buckets to make enough to put in a Saruka to get 1 center.
Wow.
And that's usually not the way that area is.
Right.
Usually you have enough material in that area to Saruka out of 1 bucket.
Yeah.
It's not that way now. So nothing's moving. But I was in there a few years back, and some woman came by and said, how many diamonds do you have? And I said, well, counting my buckets, and I had 20. And I said, I probably have 4 diamonds in those 20 buckets. I washed that day and come back to camp, and I went through and found 6 diamonds out of those 20 buckets. So
Hey, that's great.
That was a good day.
That is a good day.
And I knew the material that I was working,
Yeah.
so I knew, that I was going to produce something.
Excellent.
But that don't happen every day.
You wish it did.
Yeah, I wish. Well,
You wish this week had
yeah,
popped a little better.
yeah. These last 2 weeks,
Yeah,
anyway.
the weather is perfect for it, but the conditions aren't. We had a drought October. This is mid-November now, and then we've only had a couple little rains, and they were slow soakers. They weren't the hard washing rains.
No, because it was so dry. Then when they plowed, it was just fluff.
Yeah.
And it takes so much rain to soak in, and
Yes.
then when it soaks, it starts running.
Right.
And
Well,
it
once
hasn't
it's
had a chance to
saturated,
do that.
It hadn't gotten saturated.
No, it hasn't, and it's still not.
Right.
You can go up through there, and that's what I said about Potato Island. It's a lot of sand and silt now,
Yeah.
because it has not washed all that down through the furrows
Right.
and out into the main drain.
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking for. The conditions are just not great right now, but that's, you have to look at the field and you have to start thinking otherwise.
Read it and figure where's the best place to put that shovel right
Yes, that's it. And you
So
know,
it's not all just volume and a lot of hard work. I mean, it is that too, but you got to use your brain some too. In that, you know, if it's all done by hand, where's the best use of my time and effort and energy?
yeah.
So you got to dig smart.
And well, and that's me. When I come in of a morning, my first trip down here, or my first day down here on every trip, the first day I only do 10 buckets or so, because I'm walking around looking at the field, and I'm looking for the indicators, what I look for.
Right.
And then I go to that area, and I'll stay there for 2 or 3 days, and that gives me a chance, after I wash that, have an hour or so coming out, I'll look somewhere else. And then if I see the indicators, then I'll go there for 2 or 3 days.
Good.
And I try to clean a place when I go. Spend 2 or 3 days and just clean, 3 or 4 rows for 50 feet or so.
Right.
That gives me a good indication if I'm into something good or not.
Right.
If you jump from here to here to here, you're missing
Yeah.
all the indicators.
Right.
And
You haven't
you're
learned
just,
anything.
Yeah, you're just guessing.
Right. It's just roulette.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's basically it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's great to hear of your success that you have found over 200. That's incredible. Few people can say that, really.
Well, and I'm still wanting that carrot, so I could be in the carrot club.
Right.
But
Yes.
and I said to somebody a couple years ago, I want that one under a point. Those are almost as hard to find as those carrots.
Yeah.
So, but then after I said that, then I've already found 5 or 6 under a point, and
Same.
several other people have too.
Yeah.
But we've gone from a 16 screen down to a 20, and I'll even go to a 32.
Wow.
But that's desperate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I come to the conclusion that there's no need going to a 32 because it's just so fine.
But, you know.
But the micro diamonds, the only thing is, hey, I just got a diamond from Arkansas.
Right. Right.
That's about all you can
But
do.
it's
with
about hard to see, though.
it. yeah, it's just a.
Well, your Carat Plus diamond is coming. The average is 1 out of every 34 diamonds here is 1 carat or more, and so the odds have cheated you.
They
You know?
have, but the thing is, I'm really not. I want the big carat, but the way I'm working, it's just I'm going to luck into one.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's
Right.
either going to be there or it's not.
Yeah.
It's not like digging a hole, finding all the crunch and finding the
Right.
rocks that's been there for years. There's where you're going to find the big ones.
Yeah. Right.
Every now and then, one's going to surface. They're going to plow it out. You're going to locate it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be by luck.
Yes. Yes.
So, but I'm still hoping for that. And my wife said, what are you going to do when you find that one over a carat? And I said, find one over 2 carats.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's always bigger
That's
and better each one.
Exactly.
So
That's
why I
diamond
never
mining
started
is.
out finding the 10 carat one.
Yeah,
off the
right,
bat,
right.
Because you have nothing to look forward to.
Yeah, very good. Well, I think that's a good note to end on. I think I like the way you think,
Well-
and I appreciate your time for your interview.
Well, I thank you for having me, and hope everything goes well.
Yep.